In this video, I wanted to talk about what you should do if an employer forgets to enroll you in the health insurance, or if for some reason they forget to take the deductions out of your paycheck, what you should do if that happens to you. Before I address today's topic, just real quick, my name's Michael. I'm with GLG America, and I've been helping people with their benefits for a long time, and I just like to do these videos to help people better understand their benefits. If you're new to the channel, click the subscribe button. Click the bell to get notified whenever I upload anything new so you don't miss a single video. And then also, if you got a comment or question, just put it in the comments below, and I'll try and help you out. Okay, so you went through open enrollment, you enrolled in your health insurance or other insurance benefits at work, and then down the road you found out either you weren't enrolled in your health insurance, maybe a family member wasn't covered, maybe you're in the wrong plan, maybe your deductions aren't coming out of your paycheck, or it's the wrong amount and you're not sure what to do. So as careful as everybody is, there's always a chance that mistakes can be made. And so in this video, I want to talk about what to do if it happens to you, and then also talk to you about how to protect yourself. All right, the first thing you should do is, if you notice something isn't right with your health insurance or other benefit you signed up for at work, is immediately let somebody know there's an issue, and then they can start working on it. The longer you wait to try and correct a problem with regard to your benefits, the harder it is to resolve it. So the moment you notice something's wrong, you got to let somebody know right away. Now, the vast majority of the time, if you have an issue with your benefits, your health insurance not being enrolled properly, or some other benefit, the vast majority of the time, if you just report the problem and you're correct, it's going to get fixed. So the problem is what happens if that doesn't fix it? All right. Now, in the cases where that doesn't fix it, a couple things are going to happen. So maybe you reported it to your HR department where you work, and they just didn't get back with you. And you've repeatedly asked them and they just don't respond or don't give you any reason why it's not the way it's supposed to be. Well, then you might want to go above that person to try and get a response, or maybe talk to the agent for the group if you happen to know who they are, and just to try and get a response to figure out why the benefits are not the way they're supposed to be. If you do that, you're more likely to get a response then, and find out that that'll probably most likely take care of the problem, and you can have it fixed. But let's say you do talk to somebody else at work and talk to the agent, and they just tell you that either you didn't enroll or that's what you enrolled in. Well, what do you do then? All right, unfortunately, these days, what happens in the real world is somebody might not enroll in health insurance, for example, and then figure out they need it, and then go, well, I'll just say, hey, I signed up for it. It was your mistake. And so, because that's the kind of the environment we live in, what's going to help facilitate you getting the problem solved is if you have some sort of proof that you signed up for what you say you signed up for. And that proof is the benefits confirmation statement. So if you have that, you need to let them know right up front, hey, this is my benefit confirmation statement, and this doesn't show that I don't have what I signed up for. Well, with your confirmation statement in hand, it's going to be a lot easier to get that corrected. Now, it's likely that you won't have a benefits confirmation statement. So what do you do if you can't get the problem fixed? Maybe your employer remembers you not sign up for it, but you remember you did, or the agent, and you don't have a benefits confirmation statement. Well, what happens then? Well, I got to be honest with you, it's a lot harder to get things resolved without some sort of proof, and especially the longer time goes by, then it's something that's just going to be very difficult to get corrected in your favor if there's no proof that that's what you signed up for. So your employer could even say, hey, I wish I could change it for you, but I don't have any proof that that's what you signed up for. It's a lot harder for me to correct it because I can't prove it. So I suppose you could maybe have a legal issue there, but even if you do, you're going to have to prove it some way. So I'm going to talk about some steps you can take to make sure that, if this has happened to you before, or if it may happen to you, to keep it from happening to you in the future. Now, before I talk about how to protect yourself, just real quick, if the premiums that were coming out of your paycheck or weren't coming out of your paycheck, let's say they weren't even deducting the premiums, but yet you did have enroll in the coverage and some time has passed, you're going to have to make up those premiums. So most employers that I've worked with have kind of come up with a way to kind of make it easier on the employee if they've made a mistake. But just keep in mind if there's an issue with the amount of premium that needs to be collected, either in your favor or not, that's going to have to be resolved as part of the process. So if they're not deducting the money out of your paycheck, and then you point out, hey, I had coverage here, and a month's gone by, well, you're going to have to come up with that month's premium, and you'll have to work with your employer to figure out how to do that. All right, so let's talk about what we can do to make sure this doesn't happen to you, or if it does, you got proof, and how to make sure that if there is a problem that you can get it fixed without any kind of issue. So one thing you always want to do if it's an electronic enrollment is get a benefits confirmation statement. Now, benefits confirmation statement is your proof of what coverage you signed up for. But when you get your benefits confirmation statement, you got to read it. You got to review it and make sure that what it says on the benefits confirmation statement is exactly what you signed up for. It doesn't make any difference it won't do you any good to get a benefits confirmation statement that you don't review and then later look at it and go, well, that wasn't what I meant to sign up for. So just make sure you review it as well as get it and keep it in a safe place. So I like to keep an electronic copy on my computer and then an actual printed out copy so that I have copies of my benefit confirmation statements. So make sure you get them. If it's a self-enrollment, you should be some way you should be able to print them out. If it's an enrollment face-to-face with someone, they should be able to print you one out or send you an electronic copy. Don't be afraid to ask for one. That way you can get it. Also, if it's a paper enrollment, make copies of everything you signed up for. Maybe when you turn it in, have somebody initial your copy that, this is what you signed up for. That way you've got additional proof. Now, once the enrollment period's over, let's say your effective date is January 1, and the next paycheck after that is when the deductions should change. You need to take your benefits confirmation statement and look at all your deductions coming out of your paycheck and check them and make sure that everything is correct so that you know that not only your benefits confirmation statement is correct, but your paycheck is too, and that what they have coming out is coming out. I mean, you'd be surprised. I mean, I've had employers for some reason just not take deductions out, and then they've got to figure out what to do. So if you're on top of it, make sure that you see what's coming out of your paycheck matches your benefits confirmation statement. And if you see any issue, then you got to notify your employer right away so that they can get it fixed. The other thing is that, like in the case of health insurance, you even call the health insurance company and ask them, hey, what's my coverage? Is everybody covered under the plan? Make sure you get your ID cards. Make sure the ID cards have everybody in the family covered. So those are some things that you want to do to protect yourself to make sure that you don't have an issue with proving what you signed up for or letting too much time go by after you sign up before you recognize a problem. All right, so those are some tips on what to do if for some reason your employer screwed up your health insurance at work or other benefits that you elected in to kind of help you get it resolved. I got to be honest with you, if you don't have proof, it makes it a lot harder if for some reason you can't get it resolved. But, the vast majority of the time, employees get what they sign up for. It's not like it's a huge problem, but I did want to address it to kind of give you some tips. Most importantly, I wanted to give you the tips on how to protect yourself so that you don't have an issue with your benefits. And if you do, you've got something to go back on. So you got any questions, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.